And for those of you just joining us, we are with Dr. Ashanti Woods, board-certified pediatrician, Mercy Family Care Physicians. Dr. Woods, what do you do outside of the practice?
So we talked a little bit earlier about my children, so I spend a lot of time with my children. As you can imagine, with residency and then even training after that, you're gone from home a lot. So now it's important to me to, be a family man, be a dad, be a husband. Outside of that, however, I actually have some community groups I'm involved with. So my neighborhood association, play a pretty decent role with that. I'm in a fraternity, Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. We do a lot of community engagement events through that. Then I have some hobbies and interests as well.
Hobbies and interests. Do tell.
Do tell? All right. So it's okay if I bring something out?
You can bring something out. A little show and tell for us.
Yeah, when
Let's
I was
take a look.
About 13 or so, my parents noticed that I would get their pots and them pans, and this sounds, again, very old, but I would take some sticks around the house and hit some pots and pans, making different sounds. It's not unusual to be in downtown Baltimore and you'll see people that have like these little paint cans. Never quite did that, but the same concept of you strike something, it's going to make a sound. This is going back to anybody being a kid. So when parents got me a drum set when I was 14, and music is something that's very, very important to me. So when I'm not at work, I'm usually listening to music, all genres of music. Used to play the drums for high school and even a little bit in college. I had a jazz band, and even after college, we would do little gigs here and there. My wife said it makes too much noise, so I don't do that anymore. Not so much, and saving that for the kids for when they have interest. But another manifestation of music and drumming has been DJing. So I'm a DJ, and so quietly, it's something the job didn't necessarily know until now. But I DJ at certain clubs. It's been less busy as a result of the pandemic, but something that I take pride in and have fun doing is mixing music and doing that for a lot of establishments through the area.
I want to get into your interest in music, but taking back to the pediatrician side of things. Why is it that little kids like to take things and bang things and make noise? I'm sure you must have some parents with sleepless nights and headaches and whatnot saying, why does he or she always want to bang something? Is there something about the brain's development?
Kids are sensory, meaning that anything that uses their senses. You got the touch aspect of it, motion, and then sound. Kids are curious, and so they want to know, why is it when I hit this table, it sounds different from when I hit this table? Kids aren't thinking about the physics and acoustics necessarily, but it's a form of science, and it's not uncommon for people in medicine to have had a history of something with band, music, math. It kind of all goes hand in hand. That was the other thing. Math was one of my favorite subjects growing up, and there's a lot of math with music, so it kind of goes hand in hand.
Well, speaking of these types of traits, I would be remiss if I didn't ask this question. Why does one's child want to watch Finding Nemo 872 times in repetition?
You know what? That's a great question that I don't have the answer to. We need more evidence.
It's one of the mysteries.
We need more evidence-based research for that. I think perhaps Finding Nemo has been replaced by Frozen. Frozen has been replaced by Baby Shark on YouTube. And Baby Shark on YouTube is being replaced by something called Coco Melon, which is now the nursery rhymes that kids learn. So I know this very well. This I am an expert in, more so because of my kids, less so because of being a pediatrician.
Yeah. Now, you've been showing us some things. You've been showing us some visuals already. But I think you said you may have one more item you wanted to show us.
Yeah, so perhaps even two items I'd like to show you. One is actually books, so just books that I'm reading right now. It's hard to, this is, again, me being transparent, it's hard to work all day, go home, hang out with some kids, try to spend some time with your wife, get caught up on Facebook and Instagram, and then still find time for reading. But I do think it's still very important. And I want to be a good steward for my patients. I try to emphasize that reading is very, very important. I'm in the process of reading 2 books right now, so I haven't finished either one, right? And give me about a year, maybe I might be done, maybe a little sooner. First book I'm reading is called The Color of Law. It's a book by Richard Rothstein, and it's a very interesting book. Probably sociology is one of my favorite non-majors in college. So I'm a biology major, a whole bunch of chemistry classes, but social experiments and why things happen really important to me, just an interest of mine. So this book looks at some of the governmental constructs that exist here in the United States, particularly as it relates to housing and how the different communities are set up. Probably over the past 5 or 6 years here in the nation, we've kind of seen different incidents take place where one can maybe say, why does it always seem that, and then fill in the blank. And so this book kind of dives into why certain communities are one way, you go to another community, it's a different way. That would be interesting if it were just in one city, but it's like that in many cities. And so this book looks into the reasons why that is taking place and the role government played in setting up some of these systems. And so reading this, it's a heavy book, so if anyone were interested in reading it, get prepared that some of the things that you read you might not like, but certainly it's factual, and it has some what people call now receipts, but it's the evidence that some of the conclusions that they came to. So that's one book. More of a lighthearted book is Barack Obama's Memoir. And this is the first of 2 memoirs. It's called A Promised Land. It talks about his childhood, growing up, and then his run for presidency in the first couple years of his first presidency. It's a very big book. Dr. Obama, I was going to say, President Obama, as we all know, I say this respectfully, like myself, is long-winded, so it's a 700-page book. So again, I'm trying my best to get through those.
Well, it's very clear that you're in love with what you do, and why is that? Why is your work so important to you?
First, it is the fulfillment of a dream that I had. I remember being in a medical school interview and saying, I like to help people. And that's a generic answer. I just like to help. But service is something that's very important to me. 1, just off of my upbringing. 2, from a both religious and spiritual. I believe that God places us here to make an impact and to serve. And so it allows me to accomplish those. 3, also at this medical school interview, I remember saying I want to not only help people but inspire. I hope that I get a chance to do that. You mentioned earlier mentorship, and did I see anybody do X, Y, and Z? I hope to be those mentors, visual mentors, since kids are influenced by what they see. I hope to represent that as well for my patients. And it's a lot of fun, to have a job that you enjoy coming to. One of the recommendations I give to medical students who aren't quite sure what field of medicine they want to go into, I encourage them to find that field, that specialty, where it doesn't feel like work. And that's good generic advice for anybody looking for a career, trying to find that thing where it doesn't feel like work. You're happy to go in there, that even on the tough day that kicks your butt, you're excited, lacing up your bootstraps to go back in there the next day.
How long have you been at Mercy?
So I've been a supervising physician at Mercy since the very beginning of 2011, so I just hit my 10-year anniversary. Mercy is a very effective hospital, but it's not the biggest hospital, which I think is actually a good thing. I think Mercy is, to me, medium-sized, and some people might even argue Mercy is a small hospital. But in doing so, it allows you to not get lost in this world of a medical facility. In other words, it's all kind of compact, and again, allows you to see the same faces each day and build relationships. So I think Mercy is a different type of hospital based upon the relationships that you can build with people. And most of the people here are just happy. We all deal with tough things every single day, difficult diagnoses. The hospital takes a lot of pride in its excellence, and takes a lot of pride with the people who work here and who serve the Baltimore community. Again, I think Mercy gets it right. I'm not saying other hospitals don't do it, but Mercy has found a way to do this very effectively.
Got one more question for you. We're going to take a brief break. Be right back.
Here's to the nationally recognized Center for Women's Health and Medicine at Mercy. Mercy provides GYN cancer services throughout the state. Our breast cancer team was first in Maryland to offer intraoperative radiation therapy. Mercy is home to the National Institute of Robotic Surgery. We also feature 3D mammography, the Ovarian Cancer Institute, a dedicated endometriosis center, breast reconstruction, plastic and cosmetic surgery, and comprehensive GYN care. 1-800-MD-MERCY or mdmercy.com.
And we're back with our final segment with Mercy pediatrician Dr. Ashanti Woods. Dr. Woods, we've talked a little bit about your past. We've talked about things that you're doing now. What's the future hold for you, for what you see where Mercy's going, pediatrics?
So for me specifically, you know, the future looks bright, fortunately. Mercy has been kind enough, observant enough, aware enough to say, hey Ashanti, hey Dr. Woods, we want you to play a role in Mercy's future and where we're going. And so I've been afforded an opportunity to be on Mercy's Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee, so that, again, we're making sure we're taking the best efforts to serve this surrounding community that we have the privilege to serve. Recently also, Mercy said, hey Ashanti, do you have interest in being on our board of trustees here at the hospital, help with direction, strategic planning of the hospital, for which I said resoundingly yes, I do have interest with that as well. So, you know, things have been really, really good, and again, future looking bright. For Mercy Pediatrics, our practice continues to grow. Mercy takes pride in being one of the top performing and top delivering hospitals for newborn babies here in this area. And so as a result, our pediatrics practice grows. We look forward to serving all and serving all with excellence.
So Dr. Woods, for you, it kind of boils down to science, education, teaching, community, family. Is that you in a nutshell?
That's me in a nutshell. I'm going to add one more, fun. It's got to be fun. When you make things fun, those other things come together quite nicely.
Thank you, Dr. Woods, for your time and your candor. I'm hoping our viewers enjoyed an opportunity to get a bit more up close and personal with you and learned a little something they can apply to their own lives, and in particular the children's health. And thank you for watching. On behalf of myself, our guest, Dr. Ashanti Woods, the Mercy staff, and the Sisters of Mercy, we wish you good health and humor, and until we meet again, may the road rise up to meet you. I said that David had something he wanted to show you from the taping, but that's not exactly right.
You guys are sneaky.
The truth is, we had a little something we wanted to give you.
You guys are
to thank you for coming in on your vacation and
oh my
everything else that you did. So,
oh my goodness gracious. Okay, if I open, first of all, it's absolutely beautiful. But
so
you guys,
please open up.
Oh my goodness. Holy smokes. You guys are too thoughtful. I love it. This is like the real deal. You got Maverick in the front, Goose in the back. This is amazing. Thank you very, very much. This is too thoughtful.